Break family, the return of Jon Moxley after his absence from going to rehab. Also, like another thing, Adam Cole with Orange Cassidy, the rivalry continues. Sting and Darby Allin are the really tag team, because why they keep burying tag teams that are actually tag teams. Jean Paul, AEW Dynamite, your thoughts on this episode that, for me at least, it's completely a thumbs down.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? They tried to make Moxley go to rehab, and he said yes, yes, yes. And they tried to make me watch this show, and I said no, no, no. Because, I mean, this was bad. This episode of Dynamite was bad. Okay, Moxley, his first return was going to be at GCW. Tony Khan threw a bunch of money to somebody and said, no, it isn't. It's going to be on my show, Dynamite. And we saw the return, and that was good. And, I mean, from that, down. Yep, and I'm not the biggest Moxley fan. I mean, in the ring, in the world of wrestling, I'm not the biggest Moxley fan. So for me to say that his segment was pretty much the best thing on the show, yeah, you know what I mean. But
and also, ladies, it's because one of like the few segments that was actually serious. But thank you so very much, family, for watching us one more time. Thank you very much for the support, for being there for us in every single video that we do. For every single thing that you do in every single one of the social media waves, social media pages. Don't forget to watch also the GCW that we did. It's Say No Will, Say I Will, and also like Notorious. Thank you for all the support on that. And family, a lot of you will be wondering what's going on with NXT 2.0. There was no review, and then it's because they changed Walter's name. So like I think that was like the icing on the cake. That was like the last straw. We said no more on that. I wouldn't want to feel offended, because like they just gonna do this stuff, and the show has like the quality has lowered down really, really bad. So I was in an effort to give you better content, and in an effort for ourselves to actually be more excited to keep covering shows, we're gonna actually pick up NWA Power. The show is actually a lot better, and not a lot of people know it. So that's a good thing for you guys, and it's a good thing for us, because we're actually gonna like rekindle our love for professional wrestling. Paul, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way you do about NXT 2.0, and we're not stepping away completely. We're still going to be covering, any pay-per-views, any special shows like a New Year's Evil, something like that. And maybe we'll even do the final of the Dusty Cup or something if we feel like it. Who knows? But, no, we're switching to this. We covered NWA in the past. We've enjoyed it. And, we just didn't have time in the schedule because, NXT was so good. Raw and SmackDown were at least bearable. But those shows have, they've just gone down, and NWA is still here, still delivering good content. So, we're going to start covering that fully on the channel, and we're excited.
We're excited to actually be excited, like the way that you guys see us on NXT UK. It is tomorrow, the same thing, the same energy, the same intent.
I'll talk about Walter so we can get into the review, or Gunther. I'll talk about that a little more tomorrow on the NXT UK.
Exactly, because absolutely trash. Like a lot of our friends are outraged, and rightfully so. The decision making in WWE is not really based on actually the need, it's not actually intelligence, but you said that will be for like tomorrow's episode of NXT UK, so stick around if you want to hear both of our thoughts. So Jon Moxley, John Paul, he comes back, like you said, like he was supposed to be coming back on the GCW and Hammerstein, but like he's actually debuting here, like coming back on AEW, and he threw the F-bomb the first 5 seconds. I guess there was some asshole that say probably something bad to him. Hey, the guy's coming back from demons and all of that, that's acceptable. He said, go fight yourself. Go fuck yourself, get him out of here, that's fine. And then he said, something that I guess all of us have like heard in the past, maybe we know it, we embrace it, is like we all have demons, we all have things, scars in our life that like are with us every single day, but like we kind of like find a way to channel that, and from them, which is like think whether we go for the best or for the worst, and that's what he did. What do you think about this promo? I think that Jon Moxley is back. He looks a lot skinnier for me, and then right away he's asking for a feud. He wants blood. He wants to rekindle his character in AEW.
This is great. What was one of the things Moxley said before? He lost his title to Omega. He was cheated. He was pissed. He was cutting those promos. He's like, I'll tear apart anybody who gets in my way. Like, I don't want to wrestle. I hate this, but I want the belt because that's money. That supports my family. And if you're going to get in the way, I'm going to kill you. And this pretty much is where he picked up, where he left off. He said he had to go take care of his demons. He did. He's back. Like you said, he looks skinnier. He's probably in better shape, working out. That's a good distraction for everybody to work out. So I'm sure he was getting in better shape. I'm excited to see him back in the ring and see what they do the first feud with. And like I said, him picking up right where he left off, it was great. So, hey, maybe after Lance Archer or whoever walks away from that feud as champion, here we go, Jon Moxley. Not saying he wins
Hangman
it, but a
Page.
good opponent. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was a good promo, and again, channeling everybody, a subject that everybody can relate. Demons, you have to step away sometimes to actually get better and come back even stronger. So good stuff on Jon Moxley. And let's go to the first match. That this, on paper, for me at least, I was under the impression it was going to be a good match, but when it becomes just a spot fest, and also the seriousness of the match doesn't even have a starting point. It's just I'm gonna just be goofy about this. So I don't really like that, and that was Britt Baker with Adam Cole being just a tag team now. And of course, they're actually a couple against Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. I don't like the stuff like this, because the seriousness of the mixed tag match is already not too serious. You will say that, right, Paul? We should cover that on NXT UK, and on this it starts with of the kicks. Of course, and I don't know. For me, when they start doing these things, it's I don't want to keep seeing it. It's just too spotty. It's more entertaining than the sport related. So, what do you think?
If we go back and we look at somebody like Chris Statlander, at first, we said, ooh, she's injury prone, but to injure other people, and but I think she's gotten in better shape. She's gotten better. Obviously, Adam Cole and Britt Baker are great, fantastic wrestlers. There's only one thing that sticks out in this match that ruins the whole thing. It's you're making a good soup and a fly goes right into your soup. Oh, well, what the it's ruined. And that's Orange Cassidy. Like you said, the bullshit, the kicks, the fact that they have to sell for these guys. At least Chris Statlander, when she comes in, she's bigger than Britt Baker. She's throwing her around. And even standing at Adam Cole, we make the joke, but hey, it's serious. It's true.
It's true.
She looks like she could beat up Adam Cole. So she's at least credible. But no, Orange Cassidy kills the whole thing. And like I said, the fact that Britt Baker, Adam Cole go along with the comedy gimmicks and everything else with this, it just brings them down. It makes them feel mid-card. I'm not going to say, oh, they suck, they're awful, I hate them. But it makes them feel like they're on the Orange Cassidy level, not the Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, MJF, Jon Moxley level.
Yes, and
that hurts them.
Aside of that, like you said, the match was not good. I didn't like it. I have to say it. It wasn't good.
I mean, lots of finishers, and again, the fact that okay, it was cool. She hit the Panama Sunrise on the outside on Statlander. He hits an Orange Cassidy. That should have been something where they both had them pinned, even though Britt Baker's wouldn't have counted. 1, 2, 3. It would have been cool. They both hit the same move. It would have been like a double pin, even though it wouldn't have mattered. And it would have been a cool way. But no, Orange Cassidy kicks out. Then we have to see Britt Baker, who's the women's champion, go through a table for no reason, just so it can lead to, then Adam Cole, he low blows him. He hits the boom or whatever it's called, the
last shot. Yeah, the last shot on WWE, the boom right now.
1, 2, 3, and we don't got to go. The refs check on her, blah blah blah. He tells him no. We see this promo. He's like, I'm so sick of you. You're bullshit. We keep having these matches. I beat you in a singles match. I beat you in a mixed tag. What's it gonna take? I know what it is. Next week is Beach Break, and this is gonna be in a lights out match. And they keep saying Adam Cole's undefeated. This is a lights out, so the records don't count. So you know what that means? Orange Cassidy's gonna win. This sucks.
yes, exactly. So
I just broke it for everybody. Sorry,
you broke it down. You broke it down. Easier than that, it cannot take. Easier than that, it cannot be. So for that reason, like you said, I don't like that. Again, Adam Cole, with Orange Cassidy, the feud should have been maybe 1, 2 weeks. That's it. Give me another opponent that is as important as Adam Cole is. Well, at least they can go toe to toe. Because what is the one thing that Adam Cole is really good at? The promo work. Can Orange Cassidy talk? No. And a lot of people after Orange Cassidy Paul remember that kind of a little bit of he had the push and the triple threat with Pac and Kenny Omega. After that, it was gone. And then he's just mid-card for live, and a lot of people whoa, when is he going to make his big break?
If he came in here and did the comedy to get over, but then turned himself serious and was actually, no, I'm going to wrestle legit, no more, hands in the pockets and doing the kicks. I'm going to be all serious because I want to win and I want, people to respect me. Then, I'd be fine with him. But all he wants to do is he's a one-trick pony. I'm just going to do my comedy. And I don't think people actually respect him. They go, oh, I like him. He's funny. You don't respect him as a wrestler.
Exactly. It's I like the guy, but whether he's a good wrestler or not, that's a different conversation. It's you cannot put the two together. That's something. So we'll see what happens, but you already broke it down. So I agree with you. That one's we're gonna see next week at Beach Break. So MJF and Wardlow, they have a promo. He says that he's gonna have to lower his paycheck because you already put my hands on you. on me, you know. And then if you win, like it was like a battle royal or something, he said like, then you know the confidence is back. So MJF and him is still the tension, still the fractions. You see the cracks in the relationship. So like it's okay because again, you said that the Wardlow is going to have a really good baby face push, so that's interesting. And from there, you know, we're going to go to the match that like actually was not even the match, and that's CM Punk against Shawn Spears. And like you said, what can you do with Shawn Spears? Just, you know what, send him to Impact, send him like to GCW, not because he's a bad wrestler, it's just because he has never been able to get over. And he loses in like the quickest fashion ever, right? GTS 1, 2, 3, and just CM Punk just taunting MJF. They have like a stare down. This was not good for me because again, they're not really giving me more chapters to this feud. They're not giving me more layers to it. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna stare you down, and then there wasn't even a match reveal for next week. So what did you think overall for you? Did you like it or not?
Yeah, I mean the promo with MJF and Wardlow and stuff, I like that interaction and everything. And, oh, you know, I'm going to dock your pay, even though it's your birthday. But, you know, oh, I'm sorry. And if you win me my belt, I'll give you your payback. Their whole interaction, everything is good. And then we see this match, and it's such a joke because they have a promo to try to hype up Shawn Spears like he's actually somebody credible in the wrestling world. And we all know that's a joke. And that's exactly what the match was because nobody cared. I said you're doing level 1 after CM Punk already beat level 10. He already beat Wardlow. Why do you got to go all the way back here to this clown? So GTS done, and you know the interaction with him and MJF. I mean, yeah, it made MJF look like a classic heel running away and everything, but we've seen that too many times from him. He should have taken out Punk, or like they should have had some kind of back and forth, and then you know maybe Wardlow jumps back in the ring or something. I don't know. It should have been different. I want to see MJF be a little more serious because the way that they're portraying it right now, I think it's like 90-10. I think Punk's going over in their match. Yes. I think Punk's going to win.
And you know, and it will be very detrimental. It will be bad. It will be a negative thing for MJF. So
because MJF doesn't have anything really to his name. The Dynamite ring to me is useless. I'm sorry, it doesn't mean anything.
And he's never won a meaningful feud. Like he's never won like a main event feud.
He's never TNT champ, never world heavyweight champ. He should have been the one to beat Moxley, not Omega. Yeah. I'm sorry, Omega fans, but you know, now to beat CM Punk, that would at least be one thing. Like, hey, I was the guy who beat, you know, the best in the world.
Yes,
I was who gave him
or at least the first guy that pinned CM Punk in AEW after his return. So that will be good. But only Revolution, that will be, I think, that's gonna where the match is gonna take place. So we will see that what happens when that pay-per-view takes place. And now we're gonna see about badass Billy Gunn. We're gonna see Billy and his kids, you know, the Billy Gunn Club. And they approach Christian and say, hey, we're ranked in between that number 5th spot when it comes to the tag team division, and so are we going to get a match with your boys? And he says, well, you got to like give me something here. You got to do a statement or something. So they attack him, and in the end, one of the Billy Gunn's kids is like, statement made. So I mean, I think that they're going to have that championship match, which is good. You know, they're not going to lose those titles, you know, Jungle Boy and also Luchasaurus, but at least they have the next feud right here. FTR, not even nowhere to be found. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like this interaction. I said it sucks because there's so many backstage interactions and stuff that this, you know, it doesn't really have any meaning. But he's like, hey, Billy, your kids are just like you. They're big, they're strong, you know, they're awesome. They're great in the ring, but also like you know, they can never win the big one. He's like, so until you guys do that, you know, get out of my way. And you know, obviously Billy took offense and, you know, they beat him up. So this was good. I was almost waiting for the baby faces to make the save, but I'm glad they didn't, because now the heels have heat going into next week.
Yes,
that's what you need to do, because no heels ever retain their heat. Anytime somebody gets heat, they get their head thrown in the toilet and get flushed. So right,
absolutely. So good stuff. We're going to see at least this next rivalry for, like, you know, the Jurassic Express, the return of Cody Rhodes. A lot of people hate on this, of course. You know, Cody's not the most beloved wrestler in this world of pro wrestling that we love so much. And the promo that he had, you know, pretty decent, like touching a lot of like space, like places, like really important parts of professional wrestling. The pipe bomb, he said that like that was the beginning of the road. Then he retired, but then kind of Cody Rhodes was one of like the first people to open the forbidden door. Remember when he went to Ring of Honor? Remember when he started AEW? He went on to Impact. So all of those things. And he also says that like his contract is a free agent, Paul. So a lot of people are saying he's going to be in the Royal Royal Rumble. We'll see what happens in there, but also he says that he sent Tony Khan a contract, or like Tony Khan has a contract to sign from him, and he mentioned the Young Bucks also, saying that he doesn't want them to bury Red Dragon. So you see, like, there's a little bit of like shades right there. So I think that it was a good promo. Cody's also like talking about Sammy Guevara, and he challenges for like a ladder match to like see who's the real TNT champion, and this is gonna be good at Beach Break. You know, Cody is like, a lot of people hate him, but when it comes to fighting, I think he's a decent wrestler. So this was okay for me.
Yeah, this promo, it was hit and miss for certain things. I do like all the shots at WWE, and he's just like, oh yeah, you know, I forget what the name was. He didn't mention the change in the name, I think. Yeah, everybody was making fun of Walter with his new name, and that popped the crowd, and he's like, hey, you know, the Young Bucks, they wanted to start the Wednesday Night Wars again. And I said, guys, don't. You already, you know, beat the developmental for how many weeks in a row? You don't need to do it again here. Obviously referencing, you know, them beating NXT in the ratings, and then them beating up Red Dragon. So he's, like you said, he's poking fun here, making shots at WWE. And it was good stuff. But as the ladders in the ring, I'm like, everybody's a mark for Razor and Shawn. And that's what this is just going to be. If he would have pushed the ladder over and said, oh, or no, we're not doing this. Like, you know, like, you know, lead the crowd. Everybody thinks, oh, it's going to be a ladder match, and then no, it's just a regular match. You know, that would have been like a little bit of a heel thing to do. But no, it's going to be a ladder match, and I don't know. I think it's going to Cody. I mean, to me, this title, I don't want to say it's meaningless or anything, but man, it flip-flops back and forth between so many people.
It's the hot potato. Yes.
It's like the WWF Championship in like 98 to like 2000. It's like bing, 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 bing. It's like on
everybody gets a piece of it. Yes, yes. I mean, and if it's not a Miro, I don't care about, you know, because Cody already 3 times
to hold it, and that's the one thing he said too. He's like, we don't have any secondary titles in here. He's like, every title is on the same level. It's all, you know, who holds it, who's the champion, and everything. And to me, the only guy who held that belt, who made it feel legit, and, you know, this is no offense to the late Brody Lee. He did not have a good title run, and he dropped it right back to Cody. The only person who made that belt feel legit was Miro.
Oh yeah, no, and again, it's not a shot. It's not saying something bad. It's just what it is. Is that how we feel?
Darby was good, but you know, he's small. He's that mid-card underdog baby face right now. So he didn't, you know, but Miro made it feel like, okay, you know.
Yes, exactly. So that was at least good. So like, this is going to see the Beach Break. Probably if that's the main event, that will be fine, because like, you know, AEW, the worst thing that they have, they do not know how to give you a main event. Tony Khan needs to learn how to do that. And also we're going to see Anna Jay challenging Jay Cargill for the TBS Championship. She needs an opponent. Anna Jay is fine. She's semi-credible here. Is she going to lose? Hell no. That's not going to be a title switch. So that's why they do it. You know, that's why they give us this. This is going to be in Rampage. So we're going to see this, like, it's probably taking place right now. So that's fine. We always mention that. It's all right. So, I mean, Jay is not going to lose. That's the end of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. This will be a good, you know, thing for Anna Jay to be like, hey, you know, I'm in this match, you know, to be featured in a championship match.
Opportunity, yep.
Yeah. Well, no, we can call it a title match. We're not WWE. You know, we call it what we want. But, I mean, nobody's really a ring general here, and Jay's not that good. I mean, Anna Jay's all right. I'm just interested to see how, you know, if there's going to be any crazy botches or anything.
Oh yeah, we'll see what happens, because if there's a big one, we will hear about it like right here, and we will be talking about it on every single one of you, family. So let's talk about, you know, the Malachi Black and also Brody King, like the House of Black. They went against the Varsity Blondes, and this was just, you know, pretty much a squash match, really quick. And, you know, the main thing is to get these guys over, because at least they're supposed to become a threat in the tag team division and throughout the whole AEW. So that's what they did, at least at the beginning. And, I mean, they did, you know, what they're supposed to do, because the Varsity Blondes, I mean, they're okay, but, like, Brian Pillman Jr. just leaves out of, like, for that episode, Dark Side of the Ring. So right away, Brody King, they get the win. But, like, the biggest thing about this is just, like, they said, hey, who wants to step into the House of Black? And Pac is going to start rivalry with Malachi, so we go to the days of like WWE or NXT. But like, hopefully Pac develops into this great main event guy, because the vignettes are good for me. This new story that he has to tell is good, and he says that he's going to look for a martyr, and he's going to do that with Malachi Black. So what do you think? I like this where it's going, but again, you have to job one of these two, so I don't like where it's going to end. But the match might be really good.
Yeah, and you know, like that little rhyme they have about Santa, where his belly, you know, jiggles like a bowl full of jelly. That's kind of what I see with Brody King, unfortunately. The tattoo's kind of covered, but his gear just doesn't flatter his body. He's not a bad wrestler, but you know, that's just it. Just I don't know. That's all I could see was just the flab movement. But anyway, you know, I like where they're going, but to me, again, he was mentioned in the Cody promo too. Oh, Malachi Black gave me 2 losses and stuff, but he doesn't feel legit. Introducing Brody King, nobody knows who he is. Unless you followed the indies and really, you know, studied, the general audience don't know who this is. So these guys get a big win. Yeah, their entrance is cool. They get over. I mean, Pac and, you know, Malachi or Aleister Black, however you know him as, they're the 2 biggest stars in this. And, you know, you just introduced this other guy. Now you're going right to a singles feud. Yeah. You know, when I thought they were going after the tag team. So, again, it's all over the place. I don't know. I would almost rather see Pac join them. But I guess we gotta wait and see how this.
Yeah, now remember they mentioned something about debuting like trios like championship. That would be interesting to see. This guy will actually benefit Pac, and then they will make a really good, interesting group. But we're not gonna see that. Also, like Trent here and Rocky Romero. This is what the hell is this? You know, challenging the Young Bucks. I don't think they're gonna win anyway. Where's Chucky? Maybe he's injured now. So like the best friends can never be, you know, complete. Like the whole group can never be all together. So I'm not a big fan of this, but like the Young Bucks have to be at least they're gonna be on Rampage, and I don't think it's gonna be a good match. I'm not interested in feuds like this just because again continues with the Orange Cassidy, Red Dragon, all of that. I'm not really a fan of
talking to Brandon Cutler thing and either being nice to him or mean to him. That is the most cringy. Like middle school humor. Like you had to have to be 12 years old or younger to actually laugh at that, which just shows you the mindset of the people who write this show and book this show. I mean, this is awful. I don't care about Roppongi 3K or the Best Friends or whoever, anybody in that group. Statlander, just get her in the women's division, and everybody else can just go, you know, piss up a rope. But no, I mean, this is on Rampage. So I probably won't have to see it.
Nobody, yeah, exactly. Like the show is just like that's what it's like the B+ show of like the AEW. So that's where they're gonna take place there. And Lance Archer, remember, like he came back finally from that awful spot that he almost like break his neck, and he goes against Kazarian. He gets the win. Why? Because they're gonna make him the #1 contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Dan Lambert got the promo, you know, taunting Adam Hangman Page, all of that. So you see that like still they're trying to sell us on this feud. Adam Hangman Page comes out. They brawl for a little bit, and in the end, he takes care of like Lance Archer for a bit. The one thing for me, Paul, is like Hangman Page does not feel like the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. The spot on the show, also the way he carries himself, nobody really is into like him as the champion. I believe. Like he's not the main event, he's not the opening now, so I don't know. But at least the feud on its own is gonna be okay. I'm not hating on that.
Yeah, I like this. To me, it's just so. Why is Dan Lambert here? Maybe they thought, oh, Lance Archer needs a manager for some reason, and Jake Roberts is in.
Yeah, because Jake is like probably
But then Jake was back. I mean, at least we saw him in a promo that they showed, and you know the promo and everything was good. I like that. And then we get here, and Lambert's a little better when he, you know, some of these lines he's delivering. But again, when all we remember you is how you debuted in your first feud and you got beat up by Chris Jericho, and you know, from then it was just dead. It was done. And I mean, this is going to be good, but I have to agree with you. Like, I mean, it's going to be good, the match, Archer and Adam Page, but I agree with you where this doesn't feel like the AEW World Champion. It's in the middle of the card. If you're the champion, you either got to start the show or end it.
Yes.
And if you start the show or end the show, there's got to be little segments of, oh, the champ, like Roman Reigns. Oh, Roman Reigns just arrived at SmackDown.
Yes,
Roman Reigns is in the back talking to Paul Heyman. Oh, he's going to be out after this match. You got to update us what the champ is doing because that's our main guy. Hangman's one segment, boom, 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 done. You don't hear anything. Oh, Hangman, what did you have to say about Lance Archer? Or hell, Hangman this.
Yes.
Everybody,
and that's the one thing, and let's remember, Paul, like CM Punk, you know, Danielson, those guys don't need the title. Page kind of like needs it, and the fact that they don't make him look as like in that level yet. When is he gonna like be like that? So, and this is a feud that like he can easily win, right? He should go over Lance Archer. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. But he doesn't feel that good. No, let's go like with the Powerhouse Hobbs and also Ricky Starks, and they said again the rivalry going against Dante Martin. They rival. Oh, you have a lot of friends, but like look at you now. You have no friends. So this is just for me a little like I don't want to say boring, but it's just like why is this happening? just because you don't have anything else with these guys. That's the one thing that I think about, is like, where's Brian Cage? I mean, I'm not a big fan of him, but like all of this is like, you know, all these guys are being wasted for me. They should be like all like spaced out, like in different type of like feuds or with other people. They just have this stuff that like I really don't care for, you know, especially Hook is not even part of this. So all of this is just not
that's
good.
the thing that it, you know, because you said Dante Martin, it was Matt Sydal, and I think Lee Johnson.
Yes,
the three of them. And he's like, oh, you guys got my back, blah, blah, blah. And then they said, why do you think everybody has your back? You're like a little baby brother. You want everybody to take care of you. You're bullshit. And then, like, I like Hobbs. He's just like, you know, he's like, oh, you know, we don't raise brothers or whatever. He's like, we train assassins like him, Hook, and Starks. And I mean, okay, that's good. So you think, oh, and they had a little promo, oh, Hook, he's badass. Everybody loves him, everything. So why wouldn't he have a match against one of those three guys? Why wouldn't you have him against Lee Johnson and have him stretch Lee Johnson? Because that's the feud, ain't it? The three of them versus the three of them. So why don't you tease it? Do something. He's going against Serpentico. Who? Nobody cares about him. He's a loser. So, you know, we're going to see that. And no, they need to do more with Team Taz. Hook is great. He's over. Ricky Starks is one of the best talkers, you know, in the business right now.
And he's a good wrestler too.
And he's a great wrestler. And Hobbs has more potential than, you know, anybody else in this company.
Yes.
But they just job him out. Oh, here, Dante Martin lose. Oh, yeah, this. CM Punk was a good match, but still lose.
But lose, yes. Yes, exactly. So, like, they could do so much more with these guys. Made him like a staple, like a faction that never loses. As good as, like, as the Inner Circle was at some point.
If you want Team Taz over, I always say it. How do you get over? Gold. Tag team champions and TNT champion. Boom.
Yeah, get him like that. At least, well, okay, like, at least the tag team champion, or at least like the TNT championship, something. That way we can believe. Okay, instead of like the fuck the world, or like the FTW, you know, the FTW, because it's a title that Taz had. He brought it back, and all of a sudden they make it. Oh yeah, he's legit. Oh yeah, we're going to defend it. No. That's not how you get over. Layla Hirsch, she is legit, and she just turned heel right now. So he goes against like Statlander, and also like Velvet's, not Velvet's guy, but like Red Velvet. You know, her. Let's see, the Red Velvet. There you go. And they're gonna have a match. This is okay. Why? Because the girls need to be featured more on the show, and you have so many. So you need to give them something to do, especially legit Layla Hirsch. She's been also in NWA. Red Velvet, same thing. They've been, you know, the sparkle out in all their promotions. So this is good for me. And legit needs something because she has the character. Maybe she's not the tallest one, but she's really skillful. So this is good. I like this because Layla's going to win next week at Beach Break.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on all that. And the heel persona is good because before she never talked. You know, it's like, oh, you said, oh, she, you know, against Camille, you know, all this stuff on NWA. It's like, oh, this is good, but no, now she's actually, hey, I'm a heel, you know, and she's talking. I'm not cutting promos, but we're hearing her speak. You know, okay, she has attitude. We know in the ring, like you said, she's not tall, but she's really stocky, has muscles, strong. So I'm looking forward to this. And again, she has to win. I think she will, because they got to start building some heels up. But you know, hey, you never know with this company.
Exactly. No, you're right. And, you know, let's go with something that we almost forget, but, like, it's just because it's just a little, like, boring for me. It's way too late. This is the Inner Circle are having cracks because of Eddie Kingston. Jericho is cutting a promo, and he kind of said something bad against, demeaning to Eddie Kingston, and Santana and Ortiz are like, hey, do not talk shit about the guy because we actually care about him. And he's like, maybe you are the reason that, like, we're bullshit, we're buried, and also we have not even win, you know, the tag team championships. So you see, like, the Inner Circle is having a lot of problems, so we're going to see another match at Beach Break, and it's going to be them with Johnny Chris Jericho against Dana Garcia and 2.0, and we'll see. I mean, if for this reason of the cracks they actually lose and Dana Garcia and 2.0 go over, then I think it's gonna be like starting the end of like the Inner Circle, which is good. It needs to end. Like you said, I don't know how the hell they won that like best faction of 2021. They don't even have faction anymore, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with a feud with the Pinnacle, that's the only thing I can think, because Meltzer's a mark. But this was good because this is all stuff that needs to happen. And Jericho, I don't want to say I hate the guy, but he needs to go away. Just go away for a little bit, or just do something different, or just maybe he loses all his friends and then just become the pain maker full time because you're so sad and angry. That's the only thing I can think that'll keep him relevant and save him, because Santana and Ortiz are right. The only reason they haven't been challenging for the gold is because they've always been in whatever feud Chris Jericho's in.
Exactly.
They're never in their own feud doing their own thing. So I think they need to lose here to cause the split.
Oh yeah, it will be good. I like that. I like that a lot. So let's go with like the girls poll because we got another match: Serena Deeb against Blue Sky, or like Sky Blue. Was really good. Why? Because Serena Deeb is so strong, and it sucks that like Britt Baker is the champion because she's a heel. Because Serena Deeb, being in the way that she's acting right now, it will be a great champion. I would love that. And she completely destroyed Blue Sky or Sky Blue, and you can see a little bit of the cake, and of course she delivered like the submission hole, and this is a great picture, so a great angle from like the camera work team from AEW, so good stuff.
Yeah, I mean it did everything it needed to do. It gave you the cake and it gave you a good match. Serena Deeb just beat the shit out of her using the ropes, the slingshots, the submissions, everything just into the ropes, just wearing her out. Got the quick submission, and this is when you can tell when there's a match and JR gives zero shits about anybody in it, and a match like this where Serena Deeb comes down, he's like, oh, she's awesome, and he actually perks up and is like, and I don't think it was Sky Blue, I think it's actually because he saw a good wrestler, and he puts her over big. Everybody does. And AEW, they don't care. They book babyface versus babyface, heel versus heel. I mean, if somebody just gotta tell Tony Khan, or he's gotta wake up one morning and think it himself, and they just gotta put the belt on her.
Yeah, so it will be so good. Like especially with this, like with this new persona that she has.
And you know what? If they would have kept her babyface, and now that would have meant we didn't get the feud with Shida. But if you would have kept her babyface, I would have had Jade go on a tear. Who can destroy this giant, this woman who just takes out everybody? Oh, here comes the old veteran, the best wrestler in the women's division. That would have been a great win for her. But they turned her heel, so I don't think they're gonna do that. Yeah,
but like you said, like she's amazing and she's producing her best work right now. She's actually the wrestler. We know her as a wrestler. We don't know her from the girl of like the CM Punk's cult. Like a straight edge society of anything like that. So like Jon Moxley needed an opponent, is going to be Ethan Page, and it's pretty going to be another squash match for Ethan. Josh Alexander, I always say it, like he has to be really happy that he stayed on Impact because they're actually treating him like a big thing that he is, or they're making him be the guy that is going to defeat Moose. At some point, it's going to become finally the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Ethan Page decided to go to the other side, and sometimes it's not greener as you think it is. This is going to be a squash match. I don't care. These guys, especially Scorpio Sky, also like completely jobbed out. They need something better to do. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I just agree with you on that. I mean, they got to get Moxley a win. Here's Ethan Page, done.
Yeah, exactly. That makes and the another thing that is done, El Idolo just bought like half, the 51% of like the actions of the Matt Hardy's group. So now it's going to be called like the HFO or something like that. So Andrade, all of a sudden he has money. Poor Andrade, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, I don't feel as bad because he was the one that made this decision, but he's so lost. I don't care like the character. I don't care like they're forgetting the fact that he's a good wrestler, but they don't know how to get him over. That's the thing. They do not know how to get this guy over. He doesn't know how to get himself over. So like they getting into this stuff that like is terrible. And poor everybody's a loser here.
Yeah, I mean this is a thing, and it's like I don't know if Andrade thinks this is good, but I at this point I would have been like, hey, how can I get out of this? Let me go back to Mexico. Let me go to Japan because nobody apparently in the United States knows how to book this guy.
Yeah, no, it's so difficult, and I don't know what it is. Maybe Charlotte should be the one that gives ideas. Hey, honey, go do this, go do that. Let's somebody help this guy because the potential is there. Selena is the only one that was able to get him over. Selena is the only one.
Or Triple H, you could say Triple H. He booked.
Oh no, like you said, Triple H understood the guy, but like I mean, it took a while for him, and it's not working on AEW. I'm sorry, but it's not. And let's go to like the main event, and this is the Acclaim going against Sting and Darby Allin. This is another shot of like Sting bearing talent. A lot of people love Sting. It's fine, but again, you need to lose. This guy is not the Sting that like was like 25, 30 years old. He's like 30 years after the fact. So I don't like this. I mean, the Acclaim, like because of the rap and also like the character that they have, they're actually decent. They make fun of them in Rampage, where they had a video with it, like with a guy that like faded, like dressed up as Sting and all of that. But in the end, they took Darby, and that's even worse. Like two guys that are like way younger in way much better shape cannot put this guy down. So I don't like this. And of course, like you said, you texted me, when he's gonna go do the big comeback. They did. Guillotine, and of course, like Sting does the fly, like he did a crossbody, all of that. Coffin drop, 1, 2, 3. And this guy's buried another tag team that is actually a tag team. When are these two gonna go for the tag team titles then?
Yeah, I mean they need to, because this match, I thought the Acclaimed were going to win, and then you think, oh no, we know how Tony Khan books. It's TBS, it's Sting's return. I mean, hey, the Acclaimed are great, but this match, it didn't need to happen. And like you said, they don't know how to book main events. It was just a big top thing. But to bury your #1 tag team, #1 in the ranking, was not good.
And especially with a tag team that is not a tag team and is a guy that is twice as older. No, it does not work. So, family, thank you so very much for being with us. And Jean-Paul, where they can find us, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications.
And then make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
You and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...